You want to watch a movie with Ice Cube?
I got you.
How about an action-packed comedy that has aliens invading,
Yes, absolutely.
but also happens to be the best commercial for Amazon Prime?
Prime Air.
Prime Air.
Oh, it's the future of delivery. They've been training us for months.
Oh, well, lads, you are in for a treat today. Oh man, 2025's War of the Worlds, the movie that everybody around the world is currently talking about, is the latest movie honored with the glory of being so awfully bad it is now a masterpiece. And a movie with that kind of honor deserves to be admired and watched by human eyeballs, and these balls I call eyes were forced to see it. So please, whether you have seen it or you haven't seen it, this video will be completely spoiler filled. I'm basically gonna be telling you everything that happens in this movie, my favorite moments, the things I could not believe this film thought would be a good idea to do, and just bonding over some trash. Because who doesn't like to sit around a little campfire and go, "Woo, you smell that rotten egg? That's some good brain rot." All right, so first let's talk about War of the Worlds. So this is an H.G. Wells novel that has been redone over and over since the 1930s. In fact, there was an infamous radio show that was done reciting the War of the Worlds, and it was famous at that time for actually causing a panic because people tuned in to this radio station believing that an announcer was actually narrating aliens invading Earth and everyone around them dying. It's famous for that reason. And although we've had tons of movies and TV shows recapturing that magic, even Steven Spielberg taking a stab at it with Tom Cruise in 2005, this 2025 updated version actually wanted to take inspiration from that radio show back in 1938, where back then you would have heard the news of aliens coming and invading through a radio show, but in the good old year of 2025, you would see it happen through your phone, thus inspiring them to make this one of those movies that is entirely told on the desktop monitor of a computer. Even the history behind the making of this movie is so fascinating to me because apparently this movie was made 5 years ago. During the time of the pandemic, when studios were panicking, trying to figure out how they can make movies, but also not trying to break the rules of COVID with having actors all in the same space, possibly getting sick, the idea of a movie where a bunch of actors could just be in the comfort of their house and through a webcam, they can shoot what they need to for this film sounded extremely appealing. But once the studio saw what they had made, they locked it away, and someone recently opened the key and unleashed this glorious masterpiece upon us. So kicking things off with War of the Worlds, we start off with Ice Cube playing Will Radford. He is an intelligence agent whose job it is to monitor the people of the United States, as there's someone right now monitoring me, probably looking at me through all the webcams I have to stream with, and they're going, "This gooner's talking about War of the Worlds. I'm going on a lunch, guys. Hey, there is no national threat here." And within the first 2 minutes, you can easily tell, whoa, Ice Cube is a professional. He is very good at what he does when it comes to spying, because he gets a phone call from his NASA friend Sandra letting him know of these strange weather patterns that are happening all over the globe. And man, it's some scary stuff. I mean, you see clouds, you see lightning in New York and Kansas, all over the place. But does that frighten my man Will Radford? No, he says, and I quote,
Well, I got bigger fish to fry than watching clouds.
lightning storms all over the world, and that is no of concern to him? All right, I'm curious. What is then a concern to him? Because it looks like there is a dangerous purchase recently made, as per his computer screen.
Hey,
A muffin? Really? A muffin. What are you thinking?
Jesus, Dad, how many times have we been
One
through
hard
this?
boiled egg. They're right next to the donuts.
No! How could she? His daughter, who's pregnant, ordered a muffin instead of having a hard-boiled egg for breakfast. Mr. President, a second muffin has hit the womb. That's not even the worst part, guys. He has 2 kids. And Mr. Ice Cube here is such an invasive, overprotective parent, using the national security grid to uninstall his son's video game from his computer.
You know you're wasting your time with that game.
Dad, playing video games is my job.
All I know is I've been pre-funding your ass for years. You need to get a real job.
This is my job.
Oh no! Not my Fortnite! You know how many V-Bucks I had, Dad! I can't just hit the gritty now! It's not in the item shop anymore. I don't know if they'll ever bring it back, Dad. That was immediately the funniest thing, is like, this guy clearly has an important job. Make sure there's no terrorist threat, anything that could harm a US citizen. But he seems to be spending a lot more time just reading the text messages between his daughter and her soon-to-be husband. Like, he's literally reading about the fact that he's not invited to his own grandson's baby shower. What? That's not even the craziest. You want to guess who the son-in-law of Ice Cube is in this movie?
Hey, Pops.
Roderick, can you explain what you're doing in this photo?
That's not me.
Roderick, from a wimpy kid, has upgraded in life because he is no longer just a stubborn older brother with a punk rock band. He is an Amazon Prime delivery driver, and that is the highest of honor for this movie because he is essentially the Tony Stark. He is the thing that is holding together this odd cinematic one movie solo universe of War of the Worlds. Roderick's character of this Amazon Prime delivery driver is probably the funniest thing in the entire movie because you know what? Him being an Amazon Prime driver is not just a commercial, so Amazon Prime gets something out of releasing this atrocity. It's like, look, people are gonna watch this, but they're not gonna watch it because it's good. They're gonna watch it to make fun of us, guys. Let's at least make this a commercial. That people love a good bad commercial. He is such a dedicated Amazon Prime delivery driver. He never stops wearing the Amazon Prime hat. There are several photos throughout this movie that we see of him at his vacation, with families, at his own baby shower, but he never loses that beautiful Amazon Prime hat because if a package needs delivering, he knows he's got a job to do. Seems more dedicated than Ice Cube in his job, I'll tell you that. Also, that's just tip of the iceberg with how deep the Amazon Prime sponsorship goes in this movie. Going back to whatever they call a story in this movie, we find out Ice Cube's wife had passed away long ago, and the thing that he uses to hold close to her, it's not any photos in his phone or videos he might have taken of his wife. No, come on now. He would not have that. It is the 2-second voice message that she sent to him about taking out the trash.
Remember to take out the trash today and be nice to the kids.
I had a 7-year-old notification of my high school crush who poked me on Facebook, and when they deleted that, I was broken. Proof that the popular girl wanted to poke me. Now who would want to poke me? I'll never know. But before the alien invasion occurs, Ice Cube has been hot on the trail of these hackers known as Disruptor, who has been sneaking their way into government data centers, trying to leak out information to the public, and Ice Cube is hot on the trail, making sure Disruptor does not do that. However, in the midst of their operation and hunt down for this hacker, missiles begin to strike down and aliens begin to appear. The greatest part of watching this movie unfold before my eyes was every reaction shot of Ice Cube to something insane that clearly wasn't in front of him, but he just has to use his imagination. I can only imagine the director through a phone call, because this is COVID. He wasn't in the room with them. All right, Cube, you're gonna see a giant alien and asteroids and hundreds of people dying. Can you give me a face that would match that expression? If you can hold your coffee while you do it too, that'd be great. Oh. No, stop!
Stop the bleeding!
I love Ice Cube, and I think when he puts his mind to it, he is a very entertaining actor in whatever he decides to be in. But this was something that was, I think, an easy paycheck for him, because you can tell. Man is just doing his best, but does not understand the assignment. Amount of times he says the words, "I got you."
I got you. All right, I got you. Got you.
Get out of there.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Or get away from that.
Get away from that.
Is unfathomable in this movie. And it's also just so funny to me because the movie wants to keep that style, which I actually don't hate. I know some people don't like the style where a movie is entirely told through a computer screen. I think that could actually be a very effective and even creative form of storytelling. Absolutely love the John Cho movie Searching and its spiritual sequel Missing. Those are examples of movies that I think use this filmmaking method very effectively. A movie that is about the world ending, aliens coming, destruction at every corner is not the kind of movie to do this to, especially when the destruction's out there. And you're looking here, that just feels so weird because he's like right there in the comfort of his desk and he's like, Hey, can y'all keep it down right? I'm trying to send this truck. What's going on out there? That's so rare. I don't know, man. I just know there's gonna be a lot of traffic leaving work today. Let me close this window. And you might be asking yourself that, right? Because you see Ice Cube's kids start to get endangered. Oh, let me tell you, the suspense they build up with their kids getting in danger, it's serious stuff. There's no laughing matter in this.
Left now and run. Hey!
I'm okay. That is a shot that is being built up to be the possible death of his son, and it could not be more funny. Dad, they're here, Dad. I can't believe it, Dad. I don't think I'll ever get to see you, Dad. Dad, tell Mom. I'm sorry, Dad. Oh. And that's just the son. The daughter character is this like lab technician, and she's stuck in a building that could collapse. I'm screaming at the screen going, dude, get out of your office and go get your daughter. Why are you still sitting there going, oh, Dad, she's got to get out of there. But the movie has an explanation for that. After the alien invasion begins, all essential buildings for the US government get locked down from within the inside. So Ice Cube is actually trapped within his office space and not able to leave.
You never want to leave that place, and I won't let you leave.
I also can't even begin to describe the visual effects in this movie. I think it got to a point where Amazon was like, all right, we got to release this, but we're not spending millions and millions of dollars on these effects, because these are effects that are passable in YouTube videos today. They were definitely trying to save a ton of money with these effects, and they're like, hey, it's not gonna look good. So since Ice Cube can't get physically to his daughter to save her, the man's got to use the technology in front of him to help her as much as she can. And she's gotten in a pretty bad situation. Some debris has fallen on her. These aliens are close by, and she's got something through her leg. She's bleeding to death, and she's got a baby in the womb. Something needs to be done. Ice Cube then comes up with the brilliant plan of hacking into a nearby Tesla, having his daughter slip in, where she is literally like 2 seconds away from being vaporized by one of these aliens, and this is his reaction to his daughter and grandchild almost dying.
Okay, I'm getting you out of here right now. Hold tight. Man, that was close.
But as his daughter is heading off into a Tesla somewhere safe, Ice Cube does have to report back into his job and give the President of the United States information on what he thinks is happening, where we get the most perfect line reading from Ice Cube ever.
Mr. President, gentlemen, we're seeing a full attack on our infrastructure. They knew exactly where they were going, and they are systematically eliminating resources and our ability to coordinate a response.
It's pretty obvious Ice Cube is reading from a script right in front of him that he has not looked at until that very second once the camera started rolling. Again, I don't blame him. If all you had to do to earn a couple $1 million was sit down and read some pages off the screen, hey, I'll take that gig too. But it's just another layer of how haphazardly this movie was put together, and nobody was there going, Cube, can you give us some emphasis on that? Can you make it sound like you're not reading it with your finger on every word? These hyper-analysis aliens are taking down big factories and making sure we're wiped out. And you might think that'd be it, right? No, this movie's got it all. It's got twists. It's got turns. We find out that these aliens are actually here because they feed off data. How do we find out this information? Well, you remember those hackers at the beginning of the movie that were trying to infiltrate the government? Ice Cube's son was one of the hackers.
It's you!
Well, yes, kind of.
How could you, man? How could you? My own son is hacking the government.
Even the way Ice Cube looks when he finds out, it's like you can hear the Saw theme song playing going, you thought this was over, but the games have just begun. Ice Cube is also so pissed about this. He cannot believe his son is the person that he's been tracking down for months. He's so offended and upset, he even tells him that no matter what information he's learned about the government, he will never trust his son. And then guess what happens? He learns the information, doesn't trust the government, and loves his son. Who could have seen that coming? It turns out this isn't the first time the government has known about these aliens or the first time they have visited Earth. They have been coming to Earth all the way back since the 1950s, and they know it's because of these large data centers. It's gotten to the point where they purposely try not to have these data centers made because they know it basically rings a dinner bell and they'll come invading. Well, Agent Coulson over here does not care about an alien invasion and thinks, well, it's more important that we spy on every American, and this is the perfect system to do it. If they want to come and try and eat that data center, they can go ahead. That's literally it. Like, he doesn't have a plan for these aliens coming. He knows once he turns on this new program called Goliath that the aliens will come, but he feels a couple of people dying is worth being able to spy on the rest of the world. What world will there be left with this kind of alien invasion? They got hentai tentacles in here, y'all. I don't even know how to say it other else than that. They're long, throbby, glowy, and release little parasites that are gonna feed on your SD cards. War of the Goons. That's what this one should have been called. And it's really insane how the movie has these world leaders all on a Zoom call trying to figure out how to stop this invasion. I don't think this is how it would go down. But it is a perfect way for them to name drop the title of the movie.
A war of the worlds.
I see no other option to initiate this war of the worlds.
Say that again?
But now we have a sense of urgency because we now have figured out what these aliens want, what they're trying to feed on, and Ice Cube is cooking up a plan to be able to use that against them. Since they are wanting to go to this new data center, Goliath, that they've made, they figure, let's create a virus, and that way what they're eating will end up killing them. Only problem is, Ice Cube doesn't have a USB drive.
Put it on a thumb drive.
I don't have a thumb drive.
What do you mean you don't have a thumb drive?
And I have a thumb drive.
But that is no problem for Roderick, the Amazon Prime employee, because he has a new piece of technology that Amazon Prime has been working on: drone delivery.
I'm Air.
Right, here.
Oh, it's the future of delivery. They've been training us for months.
You think I'm lying, but being an Amazon Prime employee in this universe is like working at Avengers headquarters. You are a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. once you're an Amazon Prime employee. Oh, don't believe me? His wife that was bleeding out to death and mere seconds away from losing his future child. You know how Roderick was able to save the day? He uses his box taping skills and is able to stop the bleeding and protect his wife. He even says it himself. He is a pro.
No, Mark, no. You got to get something else, man. You need a tourniquet.
Trust me, I'm a pro.
And you also know this was like a deadly serious part of the movie because he decided to take his hat off in this moment. He was essentially performing the equivalent of heart surgery with this roll of tape. He's like, I can't get my Amazon Prime hat dirty. Sorry, honey. You might die, but that Amazon Prime hat, it's been with me through thick and thin and sticky boxes. And you know what's even crazier about this? He can't just send him the USB drive through this drone. Ice Cube has to literally purchase it on Amazon for this drone delivery to work. Why? No, why? Why can't you just hook it on and send it out there? We see the screen of the purchase being made. What? This is insanity. You thought getting the Infinity Gauntlet from Spider-Man all the way to Iron Man at the end of Endgame was a crazy toss-up? No. The aliens are onto them. They're trying to take this Amazon Prime drone down, but the Amazon Prime technology is far more advanced than anything aliens could come up with. They're getting shot out of the sky, juked around, and it wasn't enough. These aliens were starting to prevail. The drone falls on its propellers and is no longer able to get back up. But Ice Cube has gotten back into the game, baby. He uses again his security clearance to find who is this random homeless person on the street by the drone, and they literally text him, hey buddy, can you flip that drone so we can save the world? And the guy actually texts back going, dude, there's aliens everywhere. I'm not doing that. He doesn't realize the world is at stake. You know how they convince him though? Oh my God. Somebody give this movie an Oscar. They send him $1,000 Amazon gift card so he can risk his life to flip the drone and save the... That is a real turning point in this. The world is about to be taken over by aliens. Amazon Prime is not gonna exist tomorrow. You bribed me with $1,000 gift card. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to use this. 1, 2, I'm homeless. I don't know if Amazon Prime delivers to Franklin Street, 2 blocks away from the pizza shop. I guess they probably do. Amazon Prime is, like I said, Avengers in this universe. Anything is possible. But I was like, Amazon, look, I knew you had to release this movie. You couldn't just let it sit on the shelf. But to go this far into the commercialness of this movie, brilliant. Brilliant! So after this homeless man becomes $1,000 Amazon Prime money richer, the drone is able to meet Ice Cube in the hallway of where Ice Cube struggles with the alien penis, trying to stop him from inserting the USB of death and accomplishing their mission. And that's all it took, ladies and gentlemen. Agent Coulson gets arrested and sent to prison. Ice Cube gets featured on an episode of the Joe Rogan podcast for some reason. Not kidding. And then he is offered the highest position in national security, but Ice Cube turns it down, saying, "I'm no longer watching the American people. I am instead watching you, the government." Because Ice Cube has joined the rebellion with this glorious photo that is actually part of the movie. Someone photoshopped that and said, yeah, that's gonna go hard. Bringing us to the end of War of the Worlds. I am so amazed something like this gets made, guys. I know I'm making fun of it, but truly somebody sat there, looked at this footage day by day, edited, got the VFX, saw what was written and thought, the world needs to see this. And if the world doesn't, they will go to war. And we will have a war of worlds. Truly awful, though. This is definitely one of those movies that is so bad, it's good. I didn't even talk about the scene where, like, the second time it looks like Ice Cube's son dies in this movie. But because he was a hacker, he was actually faking his IP address. So the aliens blew up the wrong house, but it still was actually Ice Cube's house. And he says,
but they blew up my house. They blew up my house, man. I don't have alien invasion insurance.
You just can't find... ChatGPT will never be able to write this kind of masterpiece, and that's why we can never let the machines win. Let me know what you guys thought about War of the Worlds, and hopefully I saved you a couple of minutes. If not, I hope we reminisce together on something that we can't believe existed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films, or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.